Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Qapla. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to get your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. False words, important things are giving you peace.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework thing. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Enterprise Wednesday for November 2nd, 2022. Welcome to the panel Positive Candor, Qapla.
Qapla!
Just so you know, Positive, if you care, your avatar is broken on YouTube, but it's up to you. It's not a big deal. If you want to replace it or not. Richie Poole was first in the chat, said one Vok early on, and then said Qapla, Richie. John Araki says deuce. Birds got hate for the song. Mike Richards says greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Richie Poole says, today is the day that love will find Bird's heart, and he will have no choice but to sing along with the opening credits. We'll see. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, Captain. LDG at hashtag Free the Net says, Bird's just finishing Wordle, which I was. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. LDG is playing the music. John DeMarco says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, John. Bradley Briggs says, Zup, y'all. Zup, Bradley. I put the link to join the panel, which I'll go ahead and pin to the top if anyone else is interested. Mike Richards says, hey to John. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. X, good evening, Yvette. Hope you are well. John DeMarco says, hey to Mike. Carlo Albanese says, your planet, welcome. Yes, thank you, Carlo. We the people want Bird O' Prey 5, says Carlo. And hail Karoga. Absolutely. LDG showing I'm coming in 5 by 5 using the custom Bird O' Prey 5 emojis. Professor Brainy Specs says, and we lost Positive Candor. Professor Brainy Specs says Qapla, Professor. Maybe Positive Candor. There he is. Welcome back, Positive Candor. Where were we? Professor Brainy Specs says Qapla. John DeMarco says welcome. Captain Phantom Nerd says hashtag Karoga or something. And Professor Brainy Specs says greetings. to John. Mike Richards says, greetings to Professor Brainy Specs, who says hello back to Mike Richards. And positive, your avatar is still broken on YouTube. There it goes. Now you fixed it. Okay.
Yeah, had to figure out how to do it.
No, actually, it broke again. It broke.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Oh well. I mean, it's up to you. It's not a big deal. Just a heads up. Carlo Albanese says Broken Arrow. No, this isn't Broken Arrow. It's not Broken Bow. This is season 1, episode 5, Unexpected. This is the episode where they meet an alien species that has a cloaking device. It has a holodeck, and it has a weird way of getting pregnant that Commander Tucker is gonna find out firsthand. Professor says YouTube will require a $20 fee per month to keep your avatar on live streams. I don't think that's real news, Professor. Carlo Albanese says we look for things that make us go. Yeah, this is not the Packlids. Actually, I don't know if YouTube is going to be doing this or not, but apparently Twitch just added a feature that's very much like StreamYards, but it's built in. You don't have to pay extra. There it is. It's working now, Positive Candor. Thank you. Yeah, so Twitch is adding a feature to allow other people to come on your live stream with you. I was reading about it. It very much sounds like what StreamYard does, but it's for free. It's just on Twitch, though. Cody Guy, Qapla Cody Guy says hello. Bradley says this episode was on the air on TV last night. Wow. Well, we're close. And the Random Menace is greetings from the future. Greetings, Random Menace. Dan Ben's here. Hello, Dan Ben. Qapla, everybody. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you're new here or you just forgot, you head to the screening room at www.birdopray5.com/SR, and you can watch the episode along with us now as we watch. Otherwise, if you have your own copy, where it's season 1, episode 5, originally aired October 17th, 2001. I have no idea where I was that day. I don't even know if I watched it. I assume I did. I probably didn't get much past this episode before I gave up for the first time on Enterprise.
Yeah, this episode, probably, made a lot of people say, "Yeah, I'm done with this show. It's no good." Just because of the storyline and whatever.
Yeah. The Random Menace says it's the screaming room. No, I'm pretty sure it's the screening room. That's screaming room. I wish there was some screaming, but there's not. John DeMarco says, I think this was about the time I gave up on season 1 as well. Bradley Briggs says this is one of the many trip-focused episodes. Yeah, a lot of trip. Professor Brainy Specs says Bird of Prey gave up on Star Trek. What? Yeah, I'll be honest, Professor. The first time I watched Enterprise, I was like, not for me. Not for me. Dan Ben says I was in school in 2001. I went to college in 2005. There you go, Dan. So you remember where you were. I was already working in 2001. So, that fact, that made it harder to watch. I was I was traveling a lot for work. 9/11 had just happened, and I didn't really give a shit about anything, least of which was this new back in time Star Trek that had Scott Bakula
No,
for
well,
some reason.
and I think, and even though it's odd, I think in a way this series probably came out too soon.
Oh, way too soon for 9/11
Yeah,
completely screwed this series.
yeah,
It changed the whole
yeah.
fabric of the country, myself,
Well,
for one.
because now Strange New Worlds is kind of also a prequel series, but it seems to be more well received with with Pike and stuff. And yeah, I think they go too far. Maybe they go too far back with this show or something, or maybe that's its problem because it's not really the Federation at all until the very final episode, which is terrible anyway. So I think that's also a detriment to the show, unfortunately.
Sure. Richie Poole says, I gave up on Star Trek sometime after 2009. As very fair. Very fair. Mr. CCTV says, I was hooked on the first episode. I had just re-enlisted in the Army and was at Fort Carson,
Yeah.
Colorado.
They don't add Star Trek to the Enterprise title until I think
Season 3, right?
3 and 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 and 4 is when they add.
Yeah, because John DeMarco tells us, of course, they weren't even calling the show Star Trek at this point. Yeah, this was just Enterprise.
Right.
It was just
It became
Enterprise.
Star Trek Enterprise as season 3, and then I think that's also the season that they countrified the song "Faith of the Heart." So yeah.
Carlo Albanese says, the first episode broke my heart. I was waiting for the Klingon first contact to end in decades of bloodshed, like Picard said. But no, yeah. Richie Poole says, I think Enterprise was perfectly placed in the timeline. Professor says, but it was clearly still Star Trek. That's true. But Enterprise is a well done show. I agree. Carlo, I agree now. It's a well done show. I'm just saying at the time, I didn't. And Mr. CCDB says, I love the look of the NX-01. I do too. It's a nice looking ship. For sure. Dan Van says, I remember it's difficult to watch Enterprise at the time because I don't have satellite TV. Well, that's understandable.
Yeah,
and the Random
season
Menace.
5.
The Random Menace says, nothing weird today when men become pregnant. I disagree, Random Menace. I'm still not aware of any time a man has become pregnant. And Professor says it blows away anything since 2005. Absolutely, it does. Absolutely. I mean, this is the best Star Trek since Deep Space Nine, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead.
You didn't like the award-winning Voyager show?
Not that I didn't hate Voyager, but Enterprise, pound for pound, is better. Anyway.
Well, until 709 shows up in Voyager, I would agree with you, because if they had kept casts for all 7 seasons, then yeah, Voyager would have really been bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand why people like 7 and 9. I'm not saying I don't, but 7 of 9 does not make or break the series for me. Random Menace says, watch the movie, Junior. Yeah, okay. We're getting ready to watch. Okay. So heading to the screening room, Going to count down and we're going to get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have Captain Archer in a shower. The first shower scene on Star Trek, perhaps. Oh, and gravity has stopped. This is very dangerous. If any of those water globules get stuck in his throat, he pretty much dies. Archer to the bridge. What's going on? Gravity plating on E-deck. Maybe you want to get closer to the floor because you know what goes up has to come down. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected was going to happen. So a joke, a gravity joke, and an excuse to see Scott Bakula in the shower. It's been a long time, but my time is finally near. I'll see my signs come a cry, but last I will touch the sky. They're not gonna hold me back no more. No, they're not gonna change my mind. 'Cause I've got faith of the heart. Gonna go where my heart will take me. I've got faith to believe I can see anything. I've got strength of the soul. No one's gonna bend or break me. I can reach any star. I've got faith. I've got faith. Faith of the heart. Yay. Professor Brainy Speck says, sing it. Carlo says, oh boy. Richie Poole says, yay. LDG says, oh my God. Aroo, says Mike Richards. LDG says, I'm forcing the underground to hear this. Dan Vance says, vertebrae. Apparently the theme to Enterprise was supposed to be the same as the end credits music, Archer's theme. I did not use the word kamikaze in the lyrics. Mr. CCTV says, I watched one episode of the new Quantum Leap. That was enough for me. Oh, we just finished. Mama Prey and I just watched 2 episodes today. We like it. 47 Yorktown is crying. Such a beautiful singing voice.
Now I why we're not the
Uh, and LDG says, by the way, this last episode of Quantum Leap actually looks good. A lot of them look good. They talked about Sam Beckett in this most recent episode. Half the systems on the ship are screwed up, purging the aft manifold. Should they drop out of warp? Fire. No. You'd think they'd have more advanced fire equipment. Stuck at a bridge. Might be a good idea to drive out of warp. Maybe you tell that to the captain, then he could relay that to the bridge. The Paul found something distorting the pattern. Mr. CCDV says Trip is as good as an engineer as Mr. Scott. Prove me wrong. Half impulse. Record the sensors. What do they don't record them by default? Wow. Enhance, yes. Mr. CCTV says, oh, right, the pregnant episode. Oops. Spoilers. I already said that. Audio only hailing. Aya Katalam, Royce Kati. We ask you not to harm us. We are replying with your request. Yeah, I don't think I would send my chief engineer over to an alien ship. I mean, I would help them, but not send them over. Mind your manners. Don't get anybody pregnant, including yourself. That's a tiny ship. Dan Ben says DS9 Waltz, the Defiant looking for escape pods. And one comes up on the monitor screen, but they lose the signal like a second. They don't record, so they can't find it. Yeah, that's a fair point. Mr. CCTV says this is most definitely a junior engineer job, but then the story couldn't happen. And Mike Richards reminds us, don't pee on their tree. Diplomatic advice, says John DeMarco. Isn't it useful that they don't try to beam in? And I don't know, what would he be, crushed by the pressure change? Or do you think beaming technology has something built in for the pressure change? I guess it must, at least for future beaming. Yeah, maintain your normal rate of respiration as we fill it with smoke. The discomfort will subside. The hell it will. Arlo says it would have been cool if they used liquid oxygen to breathe. I see what you did there, Carlo. It would be cool. It would be damn cold, in fact. Keely Chow is in the house. Qapla Keely. The random menace. Says German showers. Discomfort will subside. Oh, Porthos. Mr. CCTV says, I'd love to stick around, but I've got to start the gumbo. Would you all like me to record the process? Sure. Let's see how gumbo is made. Bradley Briggs says, Bird of Prey, the captain of the alien ship, and the guy who designs the weapon are the same character. Ah, Degra? This guy in Degra? I believe it. Blue 3, yellow 6. Qapla Keely. Get some rest. Why does it look like the cut they use when people are high? It's like on that 70s show. Are these your food? No, these are our parents. Jenny Qapla T-Berg says, Enterprise is Romulan where your mother sucks eggs. So they said 20 years ago. Jenny says, Qapla bird, alpacans assemble. Carlos says, it's Trip on LDS. And John DeMarco says, these eels were the crew before they traveled at warp 10. Oh my God. He's tough as nails. We told them to eat. We told them to rest. Ordering him to sleep. You can order him to bed, but you can't order him to sleep. So this is really all Captain Archer's fault. Go to bread. Go to bread. Carlo Albanese. Go to bread. Really, the closest you could come to water isn't water. All that tech and they can't make water. Rock Solid Productions, with his 26-month membership, says, I just got here, started over. Sure, Rock Solid. And we just started. As you can see, this lady has electricity that shoots out of her hand in the presence of water. Arlo says, oh my God, they're eating the mold growing on the ship's walls. Suppose that's a reason not to clean. This ship, it's very clean. This isn't dirt. It's just mold that we eat. No, Roxanne, we did restart. You must be having, I don't know, a temporal anomaly. Just rewind it in YouTube and it'll be like we restarted. Resequenced photons. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Carlo says, how many times have we seen this bit now? 3 or 4 times. Get to the sex scene already. It's a game called I'm Going to Put a Baby in You. So different times. It was 2001. Okay, everybody played that game. Todd Jenny says Kurogan rations are resequenced croutons. Yes, Carlo, she's aping him. Qapla, Mr. Lundell. Says it's like getting a kangaroo pregnant. I wonder what the child will be called. Joey. Phlox seemed to know that a little too quickly. Three days. Our hands touched. So by Star Trek, Starfleet standards, it is a life form, just to be clear. Who do you think lets it go? Syphilis is Qapla, friends. Qapla syphilis. Mike Richards with hashtag potato lives matter. And remember, plants are alive too. For potatoes. That kind of is a death trap. Syphilis says he loves this episode. Really, Syphilis. Most of us remember it as a difficult episode to get through, but more power to you. Carlo says, all hail Karoga, land of Jaloja. And yeah, the lift is dangerous if the ship is shaking. A random menace says, Syphilis, does Bird pronounce your name correctly? Because every time he says it, I want to get tested. Syphilis says, sounds like you'd have trouble getting through the docking process, Bird. Yeah, I probably would. You're going to have the baby. Jenny says, Bird, I think you should zoom in on that bowl of crystals. I think they're crystal skulls. Dan Ben says, Bird, do you like the civilian clothing in Enterprise? Honestly, I mean, that looks like everyday civilian clothing now. I'm fine with it. I don't know that there's a lot of examples. Professor Brainy Specs, it's time for Bird to do his public annual viewing of his most favorite awesome movie ever, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Oh, the biggest problem in the history of Enterprise, minus the final episode. A Klingon, a D7, or even a Katinga shouldn't be there. So we know that the guy who was tried to put in a Klingon D5, but couldn't get it done in time or whatever. But a staff member explained the inclusion of the battle cruiser design, similar previously used in the franchise to later periods in timeline, was to indicate the slow evolution of Klingon ship design. He compared this to the speed of changes in rockets used by the Russian Space Agency and said the philosophy for the Klingons was if the design works, why change it? I don't think that was ever the actual thought process. I think that was just a lie they made up after the fact. In 2011, Star Trek magazine rated this episode a 1 out of 5, called it the worst of the season. Dan Ben says, yeah, at the time, people really complained about the Klingon battlecruiser. Studio guy was never shown that again on here after the complaints. The person designed a new battlecruiser, but was told to add a row of windows to it, and it wasn't enough time, so they went with the one from Voyager Prophecy, says Dan Ben. Yeah, to Paul to the rescue. Absolutely, Professor. Holography. Professor Brainy Specs says, just call me yet another Vulcan apologist. Imagine the odor in that decompression room. Kind of a offer you can't refuse. How convenient. No, it's not half human. It's 100% alien. Mr. Lundell says Klingons kick ass and take names. Absolutely. This guy was too damn friendly. The first recorded incident of a human male becoming pregnant. Wow. I wonder if they would repeat that today. How can that be? I thought Twitter said something different. Oh, well.
It's the first time that woke entered the English language, too, probably.
John DeVargo says, there it is. No human male has ever been pregnant and never will be, apparently, into the 22nd century. And Miss Londell says, Ben don't get pregnant, damn it. Nope. No, that is Star Trek canon. Okay, well, honestly, it wasn't as bad as I remember it being. Watching the episode, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. It actually makes me feel good about the rest of the season to come. Carlo gives us a 5 out of 10. LDG says it's a decent episode, and it's not move along home.
Yeah, at least, well, almost pretty soon, but in 2 episodes, then we start getting to better episodes.
A random menace says this was better than anything Discovery gave us. I'm surprised, Random Menace, because you did not hate Discovery.
Yeah, Discovery was better than that episode. I'm sorry.
Oh, you think Discovery was better than that episode?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Not by a long shot. LDG says Trip still ran out on his kid. I don't think it was his kid, though. That's the thing. They said repeatedly that it had 0 of his genetic material. And he was only a host. Scythelus is bird. See, I told you. It's a good episode. Yeah, you did. You did. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey 5. Move Along Home was a decent episode as well. Better than its reputation. I don't know. I don't know about that. Carlo Albanese puts in the custom emojis for me, Mamo Pray, Sisso Pray, Nephew Pray, Sassy, and a hug. Thank you, Carlo. Rock Solid Productions is just for Bird of Prey 5 fans and not at all posted on Twitter. I just kicked off a 24% coupon code on my 3D printer site. Promo code Rock Solid thanks to save. Very cool. Thank you, Rock Solid. John DeMarcos is not a great episode, but I'd still much rather watch this over any episode of Discovery. Absolutely. Carlos says, thanks for the show. As always, we'll clean up so Mama Prey doesn't have to. Thank you, Carlo. Todd Jenny says, Trip is Hershel Walker. Roxanne says, people claim that Clonal Prey 6 has 0% of Deej's DNA, but we all know he's the father. It's another fair assessment. LDG says, Move Along Home was better than season 3. Random Menace says, the Emmy award-winning episode Threshold was also better than its reputation. Dan Ben says, like Enterprise episode 3 and 5. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird of Prey, Move Along Home only has a bad reputation because of the song, which made up a very small portion of the episode. Yeah, Alan Moraine was one of the problems, though the entire premise is just like, I don't know. It's an episode where you realize the whole thing never mattered. It's like those are cheap episodes. Carlos says, when is Shuttle Pod 1? Yeah, Shuttle Pod 1. That's
Episode 16.
16? Oh, okay. So
16.
We got a while.
Yeah.
We got a while.
That's Darren Wagner's favorite, or not favorite, I guess, depending on the way you want to look at it.
And next week is Terra Nova.
Yeah,
and then a week after that,
directed by,
incident.
But it is directed by LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
So he was the first TNG actor to direct an episode of Enterprise, and then Roxanne Dawson, she does the Andorian incident, which is the very next episode. And then Robert Duncan McNeil did Cold Front, which is episode 11. And then Michael Dorn did 2 Days and 2 Nights, episode 25. And then Roxanne Dawson did another one, Vox Sola, later on episode 22.
M. Brando says, I want to see someone do a video essay on how underrated Turnabout Intruder. Yeah, not me. I'm not going to do one. I don't think it was underrated at all. I think Turnabout Intruder is
I don't think
pretty crappy episode.
I don't think Will Riker, Mr. Frakes, I don't think he directed any episodes of Enterprise. I don't see one that he directed, and he's usually known for directing at least one in each series, it seems like, but I don't see him listed on any of them.
Well, he appeared in the series.
Yeah, he appeared in all of them, yes, but I was expecting to at least have directed one, but I don't see it unless I'm missing it.
Professor Brainy Specs with Bird, thank you for an entertaining hour of Star Trek. You are welcome. You are welcome. Positive, anything you want to say before we go?
It's a long road getting from here to there. That's all.
Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy next week. We'll see you there for Terra Nova. And I guess Friday will be another bed life. So Qapla All.
Oh yeah,
Bird.
and,
Oh yeah.
well, my birthday's coming up on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
next Monday.
Early birthday. Next
Next
Monday.
Monday. Next Monday, and then I know yours is the following Sunday.
Right.
A
Yours
week
is
from
the
this
7th.
Sunday. Yeah, and
Okay.
then yeah,
Cool.
yours is the 13th, along with Whoopee Go Bird.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all.
Well, please remind me if I don't remember, but I will do my best. Have a very happy birthday, Positive. I hope you're well. I hope we see you on your birthday. Rock Solid reminds everybody to order his wares. Absolutely. LDG says thanks. You're welcome, LDG. Guys, if you're bored now, if you got no place to go, head on over to freethenet.org/underground. Underground, not backstage.
Syphilis,
freethenet.org/underground.
he had his birthday yesterday. Said
Oh,
syphilis.
happy birthday, Syphilis. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Syphilis. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Yay. Another trip around the sun. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Professor Brainy Speck says, don't forget Jet Nerdy this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern on John DeMarco's channel. Absolutely. Absolutely. I will be there. And there's the link. Cool. You are welcome, Syphilis. I hope you enjoyed your day yesterday. Okay. So with that, Qapla All, Bird, and panel out.